we have a Spider-Rex. Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation, where I review action figures and then articulate 5 points to help you decide if you want to add that figure to your collection. The 5 points I discuss are packaging, presentation, poseability, playability, and price. I'm Jason, and if you enjoy my content, please like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube rigmarole. Today, we're taking a look at Hasbro's all-new electronic Spider-Man web Chompin Spider-Rex. Starting off with the packaging, and Spider-Rex comes in a big open cardboard box. As we can see, it's one of those newfangled plastic-free packages, and as we can also see, it looks like he's already been in a dinosaur battle. I actually got this straight out of the crate, but more on that story later. Down here, we can see the Spider-Man logo along with web Chompin Spider-Rex. Picture over here, 2 times the blastin'. Over here, we see where the button is. And in case you didn't see that, there's the arrow. Don't mind if I... Nope. I'm gonna wait till playability. Picture a Spider-Rex rampaging down a city street on the side like it's Lost World Jurassic Park. Legal on the bottom. Says here that he's 16 inches long. I'll be the judge of that. And on the back is a big picture of him. We can see his projectile vomit webbing like The Exorcist. Or should I say the Rexorcist. Your mother cooks socks in hell. Mine might look like it had its butt kicked all the way back to the Cretaceous, but it's still a pretty nice box. And for packaging, I'm giving Spider-Rex 1 whole point. Moving on to presentation, and the box lied. It's not 16 inches long. It's actually 16 and a half. You sit on a throne of lies. I bet there is plastic in the package. Oh, it actually says over 16? I just didn't notice. Well, that's embarrassing. At first blush, he does look a bit on the simple, cartoony side. Kind of like they just took a generic T-Rex toy and painted it blue and red. But looking at the comic, and it's actually spot on. That said, how do you pronounce that name? Is it supposed to be Patarker? Or is it just Turtarker? Not having read the comic, maybe it'll have a glossary. One thing he does have is a little web mohawk. On that subject, why a T-Rex? His arms are too short and stubby to climb up anything, and he only has 2 fingers, so he can't even thwip. I was thinking a Dilophosaurus might have been better. Arms long enough to climb, an extra finger for thwipping, the frill could be a spider web, and instead of poison, he could spit the webbing. But then I remembered that all those things were unique to Jurassic Park. If Marvel tried to do that, they'd be screwed. But not half as screwed as Spider-Rex is on the other side. Because of the electronics, I don't know that there was another way they could have done this. But I'd be a liar if I said that every time I see a bunch of screws in a toy, it doesn't feel kinda cheap. We can see his teethers have been nicely sculpted. No tongue or any kind of sculpting in the mouth, unfortunately. I'm not fully understanding the whited out eye. We can see a spider logo in the form of stripes on his back. It's also on his tummy. While we're down there, here's the speaker and... First of all, why'd they have to put it there? And second of all, why is it so squiggly and ugh? I will say that all the scale detail is very nice. A wash would really bring all that out, but again, it wouldn't be accurate to the comic. It's a well-sculpted dinosaur that looks like Spider-Rex stomped out of a comic book page. For presentation, I'm giving Spider-Rex 1 whole point. Moving on to poseability, and well, this will be brief. The arms move that much, and the legs can move that much, and that's it. There are joints in the head, but you can't actually pose them. You can't twist the tail, and despite there being cuts there, you can't twist them either. On the one hand, I kind of want to give it a pass because it's a children's toy, and then there's the fact that it's a dinosaur, which doesn't have as many natural joints. Still, little things like making that bootcut swivel would have really helped out with being able to stand him, and once we get into price, we'll see that they definitely could have made a bit more of an effort. Spider-Rex, Spider-Rex, just 4 joints that barely flex, judging it on a curve, because again, it's not a Marvel legend. I'm giving Spider-Rex 1/2 point. Moving on to playability, and I'm finally going to push that button. And... But that's not all. We can see right here's where the web goes. He comes with 2 of these web loogies. Open wide. The trigger for those is actually back here. And hey, I haven't gotten to bust these out in a while. And go. Go web. Fly. Up, up, and away, web! Shazam! For some reason, this button isn't actually doing anything. Alright, let's try this one. Well, that didn't do anything either. Do I actually have to use both buttons at the same time? Alright, first one roars, and the second one soars! Nope, no it doesn't. Oh, yikes! So I guess you pull the leg back and then the button pushes? Let me try that again, but on purpose. Okay, so I pull him back, and then I push the button. Pull him back, and push the button. That honestly feels a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. But playability is more than just action features and electronic sounds. It's also about how well your figure plays with others. And if there's one thing that dinosaurs are famous for, it's playing well with others. For just a few Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures, and here we have Retro Spidey. Here's the Gamerverse version of Miles. Here we have Spider-Gwen and the Scarlet Spider. And then for a couple of villains, here we have the Toy Biz Green Goblin. Here we have the Venom Pool Wave Carnage. For a villain who I'm sure would very much like to meet Spider-Rex, here we have Kraven the Hunter, Marvel Select Venom, and because the irony isn't lost on me, the Marvel Select Lizard. And for a reptilian villain from the distinguished competition, here we have Killer Croc. And just because it feels like it might scale better, here's an old Toy Biz one. And then here's a 3 3/4 inch one. But as long as we're mixing and matching, here's Colossus as a Triceratops. This is from the Toy Biz X-Men Savage Land wave. And here's the Mexican bootleg X-Rex. For some Jurassic Park dinosaurs, and here we have a Dilophosaurus. Here we have a bigger electronic Dilophosaurus. Here we have a Velociraptor, Baryonyx, Stegosaurus, and lastly, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. If I remember correctly, this thing was $30 when it came out, and it was the first item I ever put on layaway, lovingly paying it off week by week with my allowance. For some of the generic dinosaur toys we all played with as a kid, here he is with that version of T-Rex, Stegosaurus, Triceratops, Duceratops, Spinosaurus, the bony head one, and this one. For one of the prizes of my collection, here we have an original 1988 Smithsonian Brachiosaurus. It's so big it doesn't fit in my usual filming space. Since it feels appropriate, here he is with the Amber Collection John Hammond. For a relative scale comparison, here he is with Pizza Spidey and the Spectacular Spider-Man. And as always, here he is with Stealth Iron Man. If you're alright with him being a bit on the small side and not quite as articulated as your other legends, you can definitely slip him into your Spider-Man collection. That said, his action features make him a lot of fun on his own, and you can always have fun mixing and matching him with your other dinosaur toys. For playability, I'm giving Spider-Rex 1 whole point. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price. So there I was in Walmart, hunting, not unlike an actual dinosaur. There betwixt the aisles was a pallet filled with boxes, a veritable pyramid of treasure. One of those boxes was the shipping case for Spider-Rex. Despite my primitive instincts, I did not rip into the box then and there, but I did ask for help. The kindly employee slid it out of the box where I saw it looked like it was already mangled by a bear. I didn't care. I was excited. I sprinted to the self-checkout, already thinking of the video I was about to make, happy to be the first boy on my block with this brand new toy. Then I rang it up and my joy turned to sadness. $46.99. Not to sound like a cereal commercial, but that's like 2 Marvel Legends. This electronic Batmobile was only $30, and it came with a Batman figure. And I don't want to see any of you complaining in the comments about how much a Megafig costs ever again. Although, honestly, some of them probably could be cheaper. But that's beside the point. For some perspective, the Mattel Jurassic World T-Rex is twice as big, better painted, better articulated, and $2 less. Am I happy to have this toy? Absolutely. But am I happy with what I paid for it? Absolutely not. It's the kind of price that shows that quality, affordable toys really are going extinct. Spider-Rex cost as much as some Quinadex. That's used to treat malaria. For price, I'm giving Spider-Rex 0 points for a grand total of 3.5 out of 5. A little something for those of you who've been saying I'm a bit too generous. For more Spider-Man content, check out my Ben Reilly Versus, or for another dinosaur crossover, check out the Mexican bootleg X-Rex. What do you think of Spider-Rex and his silly name? Is there a better dinosaur Spider-Man could have been? Sound off in the comments below. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, play nice and have fun.